Welcome back to the Quantum Leap. I'm your host, Dr. Nirdosh Jagota. For decades, the pharmaceutical industry has operated under a very specific paradigm known as target-based drug discovery. The process usually starts with a hypothesis. A scientist identifies a specific molecular target, say an enzyme or a receptor, that they believe is responsible for a disease. Then, they design a drug to hit that exact target. It sounds logical, right? It gained massive prominence after the Human Genome Project was completed in 2003. But there is a glaring problem with this approach. It relies entirely on human intuition to choose the right target in the first place. And as any biologist will tell you, human intuition is often wrong when faced with the staggering complexity of the human body. We design a drug that hits the target perfectly in a petri dish, only to find out years later that it fails in human clinical trials because the biological pathway was more complicated than we thought. Today, we are looking at a company that decided to flip this entire model upside down. A company that decided to stop guessing the target and instead let the cells speak for themselves. We are talking about Recursion Pharmaceuticals and the rise of the data-first tech-bio revolution. The origin story of Recursion is a classic tale of scientific humility. Back in 2013, Chris Gibson, who is now the company's chairman, was working on his PhD at the University of Utah. His team had spent years studying a devastating neurovascular disease called cerebral cavernous malformation, or CCM. Based on all the traditional research, they had a strong hypothesis about a specific protein causing the disease. They tested a drug designed to inhibit that protein in a mouse model. The result? The drug didn't just fail, it actually made the mice worse. Biology had humbled them. It proved that their logical reductionist model was flawed. Instead of giving up, Gibson and his co-founders pivoted. They knew that diseased cells simply looked different from healthy cells under a microscope. So instead of targeting one specific protein, they decided to take thousands of pictures of cells and test thousands of different compounds to see which ones made the diseased cells look healthy again. This is called phenotypic screening, focusing on the functional outcome rather than a predefined target. But humans are slow at looking at thousands of images, so they brought in machine learning. When they pitted humans against the algorithm to predict which compounds would work, the machine won by a landslide. Out of 39 compounds selected by humans, only one worked in secondary testing. The machine selected 7 that worked. That was the spark that ignited Recursion Pharmaceuticals. Fast forward to 2026, and Recursion is no longer a small lab experiment. It is a clinical stage tech-bio powerhouse built around what they call the Recursion OS. Imagine an automated wet lab the size of a warehouse. Inside, high-throughput robotics are running millions of experiments every single week. High-content microscopes are constantly capturing images of cells, reacting to different genetic and chemical perturbations. They aren't just looking for one drug, they are mapping biology at scale. They are building a cellular atlas. Today, Recursion possesses one of the world's largest proprietary datasets of human biology, measuring in the tens of petabytes. Their machine learning models can infer hundreds of billions of biological relationships. They are treating biology not as a mystery to be solved by human guessing, but as a massive data landscape to be mapped computationally. And the industry is paying attention. Recursion has secured major collaborations with pharmaceutical giants like Roche and Bayer. They struck a massive multi-year partnership with NVIDIA to advance foundation models for biology. And in a defining move that reshaped the AI drug discovery landscape, Recursion completed a merger with Exscientia in late 2024. By combining Recursion's massive biological mapping capabilities with Exscientia's precision chemistry and patient tissue-based AI, they created an end-to-end powerhouse. But the ultimate test for any tech-bio company isn't the size of its dataset or the speed of its robots. It is the clinic, and Recursion is delivering. As of 2026, they are advancing multiple differentiated clinical programs. This includes REC-617, an oncology asset for advanced solid tumors, and REC-4881 for a rare disease called familial adenomatous polyposis, which has already shown promising phase 2 data in reducing polyp burden. Interestingly, their very first human efficacy trial was for CCM, the exact disease that humbled Chris Gibson over a decade ago and sparked the creation of the company. Recursion Pharmaceuticals represents a fundamental shift. They are proving that when you combine the scale of industrial robotics with the pattern recognition power of artificial intelligence, you don't have to rely on human intuition to find the right target. You can map the entire system and let the data guide you to the cure. Join me next time on the Quantum Leap as we explore how AI is moving beyond small molecules and into the incredibly complex world of biologics and antibody design. Thank you for listening.